Welcome back to UNLV Rebuild Dynasty. This is the final episode of Season 2. We cruised through this season a little bit faster than Season 1. We have some very exciting recruiting updates. We definitely went in and took care of the offensive line. That's probably what I'm most excited for, and hopefully we can bring in some skill players and focus a little bit more on the defense in the transfer portal. We are here at the conference championship week. We are in the Big 12 championship game, our first year in the Big 12. We will be taking on the TCU Horned Frogs, and hopefully they are ranked a little bit lower than us across the board. You can't see that there, but it's 75 overall, 76 offense, and 74 defense, where we are 79, 79, and 81. They are the 15th ranked team in the country, while we are number 5. So I am going to get some custom uniforms going here. This will be back-to-back years playing in conference championship games. Last year in the Mountain West. There you see us all in red. This game is being played in Texas at AT&T Stadium. We only had one loss on the entire season, as you see TCU in full purple. We're going color on color here. Think it should make for a fun matchup. And hopefully we don't repeat last season and lose in the championship game. Hopefully our first season in the Big 12, we can win the Big 12. TCU was also 7-1 in Big 12 play. They did have another out-of-conference loss. TCU had the ball to start. We forced them into a punt, so we get the ball here. I like the red on red. I don't think we've used this at all. We've just been doing our classic home and aways the entire season. We're going to get Bo going here, hopefully. 2 runs just right off the bat, and this one's going to be a nice little breakaway for about 10 yards. And really, that's a big factor on how well we play, is how well we are able to execute our run game. Like I said before, realistically, next year our offensive line should be significantly better. But where we should really see it starting to play is the year after and the year after that, because we should have a couple years of development and hopefully of all of the, I think we have 7 offensive linemen committed right now. And hopefully between all of them, almost all of 4 stars that are committed right now, we might get a 5-star as well, as Camacho makes a good catch for the first down. But hopefully a couple of those guys at least have either star or elite dev to really build towards, and that's going to be an interception. Just hit the lurking linebacker right in the chest, made it look like we were throwing it to him. Not a great start to the game. TCU does capitalize and get 3 on that play. We are with the ball back here after the field goal. We're going to hit Higdon on the nice little crossing route. Camacho over the middle for a gain of 9. Look to run the ball here with Bo again. Might try to get it outside. We're actually going to cut it back up the middle. Good little pickup there for the first down. Not really seeing anything open here. We're just going to run around the outside with Colandrea and duck out of bounds. Looked kind of like a late hit to me, but we do get a first down on the scramble. We're going to run a little play action play here. Possibly trying to look for Camacho. We have Reynolds. They're going to give us a catch on that 2nd and 5. And I should have hit him earlier, just wasn't really watching him. Worked back to him is probably our 3rd read. I think he was the 3rd guy I looked at. Good little screen pass here to get the first down with Bo. Fortunately did start this game off with an interception. We are driving down the field right now though. Camacho got bumped there right before we let the ball go. I think that play had potential. He just got bumped at the exact worst time. Brings up 3rd and 10. That would be a tough throw to make. And we're going to get a sack fumble. 4th and 27. Awesome blocking there. Really, the blocking wasn't actually that bad. Just held onto the ball too long. And we're going to miss the field goal. Been off with the field goals the last couple of games and really need to lock in now that we are into the second quarter. Been a little bit too distracted to start this game probably. There's Bo with a good little run up the middle. To lock in and focus here, make good decisions, hit open receivers. There's Laster on the little crossing route. Those little drag routes work really well, usually. Just if nothing else, because we're able to kind of read them and wait till we have an opening. There's a 7-yard gain on the ground for Bo. Good run up the middle. Bo fights forward. That's 53 yards on the day for him already. And we're just going to keep going back to it here. It's another gain of about 10. Get the ball out to Reynolds in the flat. That linebacker was pretty quick, but we get it down to 2nd and inches. Once again, we don't really want to be taking any chances. I thought about hitting B there. Hit Laster in the hands. He just didn't follow it all the way in. 3rd and inches here. We just want a simple inside zone. If our blocking can hold up just half a second, which it absolutely cannot. Going to be forced to take 3. That one's good. Tie ball game. It's kind of a joke of a drive there. TCU gets a matching field goal to go back up by 3. We really just need to get a touchdown. We've been driving the ball, making mostly good reads. Get the ball to Camacho underneath. He has just enough speed to get out to the first down. We do get Cam Williams into the game for his first touch here. Box is a little bit stacked. And there's no blocking. We're going to claim it was due to injury on our offensive line, which we all know the truth. That our offensive line just can't block, as evidence on that play. 3rd and 19. Let's see if Irvin Jr. can just outrun his guy. If you can't, we should have had Higdon over the middle, but could not get the throw off. It was a blitz. So we did have the middle of the field open here. We were looking right here between Camacho or Higdon, but didn't really have a chance to throw the ball. TCU does get another field goal and must have had a really good kickoff to leave us buried deep in our own territory. 2nd and 4 here. Gonna try and stretch it out to Irvin. He had a step, and that DB just... That's another issue with him being so small. 3rd and 4. We had a step on that play, just couldn't quite get out there. Cam is just fast enough to get out to the first down. There's a minute left here in the first half. We'll try and get the ball out to Camacho. Great catch on the sideline. If Irvin can get open downfield, that's going to be our best chance to actually score. Great catch by Reynolds. We do still have 2 timeouts. I'd like to at least get into field goal range. And we're going to take a sack and have to call a timeout. 2nd and 14 here. 33 seconds left in the half. We'll try and squeeze that in. 0 chance, and that's actually going to end up being TCU points. They did get a touchdown on that, and we'll just have to take a knee. We're down 16-3 at the half. A touchdown on this drive is an absolute must. That kick return was abysmal. I would honestly put Dom Wiggins in, but he's already played in 4 games, so that would lose his red shirt. It's just not worth it at this point. Maybe should have done it earlier in the year. But Colandrea just doesn't have the arm to really get us where I feel like we need to be. It's going to bring up 3rd and 4. It's just hard to hit those tight windows with the arm strength that we have. There's a good pass to Reynolds out coming on the drag route, and that will be a first down. Gonna get out here on the move a little bit. Everything's pretty well blocked up. I'm gonna slide at 2nd and inches. We have been sacked a lot, and like I said before, I don't know how much is actually Colandrea's fault. If we had a good offensive line, it would probably be a completely different story. That being said, we do not have a good offensive line. So we are forced to try and rely on getting the ball out quickly, which he seems to have a hard time with. And like I said, it may just simply be because of the arm strength, making those quick throws. Like that one, it needs to get there faster. And we have a first down pretty much guaranteed if he can do so. 3rd and 7 here. Really need to keep this drive alive. Gonna hit Camacho right on the break. He makes a nice catch. We do have Williams into the game. Oh boy. Right guard. Basically non-existent. And we need the run game to balance out the heavy quantity of passes we're usually needing to do. 3rd and 4 here. Gonna look just to hit one of these drag routes most likely. It will be Reynolds on the outside, breaking towards the end zone, and he ends up at the pylon. That is our first touchdown of the game. It comes here in the 2nd half. That cuts the lead down to 6, but TCU goes down and not only gets a touchdown, but gets the 2-point conversion, putting them up 14. So we are now not only down in the game, but down 2 touchdowns with a real problem of lacking explosive plays. And that's going to be an interception. We are now down 3 touchdowns. Good route by Reynolds there. And really, I'm not sure what else we can even do in this game. Gosh. These linebackers are I'm just throwing books at this point. And that's probably game over. We're going to get Ochoa in after this play. Get him a little bit of playing time. I don't know what his throwing abilities and capabilities are. It cannot be much worse than what we've had. And we're just going to try to keep chucking it up here. And that's floated way too far. Now, not only has our offense struggled, but our defense is getting worked by TCU. Offensive line held up a little bit better there. My 1st and 2nd reads weren't open, so we just held on to the ball. Hit as we throw. Irvin makes a great catch. Gonna be too little too late. It's not gonna end up mattering. We get blown out here by TCU in the Big 12 championship. That linebacker came back exactly where we were throwing the ball somehow. And really, that's all we can do. Everything's covered up there. I have 0 time to try and scramble or get anything on the ground. We're just going to try to hit Irvin here no matter what. It is offsides. And we will make the catch and a touchdown. We get the ball back after a punt. Throw out of sack, interception, pick 6, and we are officially done with this game. The conference championship game woes continue as back-to-back years in 2 separate conferences we get blown out in the conference championship game. That will be something that we will address in the off-season. I think having a quarterback with a little bit better arm strength should help make crisper, more decisive passes. So when we get down early, we don't have to try to just rely on the run game. Overall, an awful game. We haven't allowed nearly close to 58 points all season, 22 in the 3rd quarter, 20 in the 4th. Quarterbacks played about as bad as you can play the position. Colandrea did have 201 yards, a touchdown, 3 interceptions. Ochoa came in and on half the attempts had a touchdown, but also 4 interceptions. So looking for a big upgrade there. Next year, Colandre has been mostly fine. On the ground, we didn't even really have the chance to get going because they got the lead so early. Through the air, a couple decent games. Camacho had a good game. Reynolds had a good game. Irvin had a good game. Irvin and Reynolds with touchdowns. Higdon played okay. He did have a drop along with Laster. And then defensively, once again, the prevailing problem: no sacks, no interceptions, no forced fumbles. So our defense this game not only didn't get to the quarterback and didn't make any big plays, but they didn't make the consistent good plays like they've been making all season either, which is a bad combination. That may very well knock us out of college football playoff contention. We will see here shortly. We're still the number 9 ranked team in the country, so there is a strong chance we're still in. Although, once again, we're probably going to go in and get destroyed. Realistically, I am more excited and wanting to work towards next season. Your Heisman is Pitt quarterback Eli Holstein. Near 4,000 yards, 35 touchdowns. We will be playing Notre Dame in the first round of the college football playoff. Early national signing day here. We will end up losing out on Terrence Muhammad. For whatever reason, we just couldn't keep up. We were gaining just as much as Indiana, but that pipeline is killing us. Fulkerts has impact dev, impact for Paris, elite for Dom Cantrell, so at least impact's not bad, but elite is awesome. He should develop very nicely. Impact for Hollis, elite for Stephen Wayne, so 2 elite dev linemen, hopefully to step in. Trevor Prince, we are no longer going to have a chance at getting. For our corner recruits, Juan Garrett has star. That's a very good recruit there. Only normal for Emeka Ball, unfortunately. Impact for Pete Nazialek, who started off the season committing to us early. And we are in a decent spot on Nelson Quale. But we did end up with 2 elite dev offensive linemen, 2 impact that can hopefully make an impact sooner rather than later. We'll take a look and see if there are any decent offensive coordinators. We will make an offer to Zach Lujan. He does have talent developer and recruiter. Talent developer is very good, especially if he's offensive focused. It should make our offensive players progress even faster. He doesn't have any interested schools right now, so we'll extend an offer to him. And the Pacific Northwest is relatively close to us as well, so should help with our pipelines. As far as our All-Americans, we'll see if we have anyone here. First team, no one. Second team, Bo Jackson is an All-American running back. Dejon Reynolds, tight end. Nothing on the defense. Freshman, Cameron Williams as a redshirt freshman is an All-American as well, along with Isaiah Patterson off the edge. And then in the Big 12, Bo Jackson, first team All-American. Dejon Reynolds, first team All-American tight end. Second team, Andrew Powdrell, our senior corner. I did notice something interesting. Ahmad Hardy ended up at BYU, which I have never seen before. Freshman Cam Williams had a really good year, all things considered. Isaiah Patterson off the edge once again. Same for the All-American Big 12. Quick look at the college football playoff bracket. Boise State made it in from the Mountain West, similar to last year. They will be taking on Miami. We play Notre Dame. TCU made it in as the winner of the Big 12. They will play Nebraska. Clemson takes on Ohio State. And then Michigan, Georgia, Duke, and USC get the byes. We will play against Notre Dame here. You can see they are significantly higher rated than us, by far the best team we have played all season, and hopefully it does not end any worse than the TCU game we just played. It's hard to imagine because we got our butts kicked, but it is highly possible. This game is in South Bend, a home game for Notre Dame, and we will see if we can put up any sort of a fight against the Irish. We do hold Notre Dame to a punt on their opening drive. and able to hit Laster there for a first, well, near a first down on our first play. Get the ball to Bo here, see if he can pick up an easy first down. The run game, I have a feeling, is going to be extremely difficult. We're actually going to take this opportunity to try and hit Irvin. They are in press coverage. He's not going to get open, and we're not going to be able to make the throw. That being said, I don't know how many opportunities we're even going to have in this game. The crowd noise is by far the craziest we've played in. This is the best team we've played against, and it's going to be tough. Another Notre Dame punt, and we have the ball back here in the first quarter. We're going to hit Camacho coming underneath, and that might just be the game plan. Quick little drag routes to get quick little completions and little gains. I'm not sure how much our running backs are going to play a role here in this game. Camacho, another similar play, and the big key will be attempting to avoid the turnovers, which is always a trick for us. Overthrows Reynolds there. Brings us to 2nd and 10. That play should have been open. Just couldn't quite make the pass. We'll give him another chance. Nice catch by Reynolds for a first down. Takes it down to about the 40. And if nothing else, hopefully making the college football playoff, as we have Reynolds wide open and can't get him the ball again. But if nothing else, hopefully making this game will give us a big boost. And if that isn't an indication of how this game should go, I do not know what is. That's the craziest play I've ever seen. Throw out of sack, hits him in the helmet, falls right down into his hands, pick 6. And I have a feeling that's just a small sample of what we can expect from this game. Irvin Jr. has a step on the outside. Will be a big gain down the sideline. 1st and 10 here. We're going to hit Camacho right on the break. Makes an excellent play on the ball for a first down. And we cannot see the play. I know it pretty well, though. And we're going to break out here with Colandrea. And that was supposed to be a slide. Ended up just kind of being a fall. Not sure an RPO is going to be our best option here. 2nd and 4. That play was doomed from the get-go. 3rd and 4, we're just going to have to basically count on Reynolds getting open, which he kind of does. Tries to fight through and gets swarmed. 4th and 4. Coach wants us to go for it because if we take 3, we basically are guaranteeing a loss. And we throw an interception. That linebacker literally sat there and made it look like, this is what I see, Reynolds working to the middle, and he's going to break to the middle. And somehow, as we're letting the ball go with anticipation, I guess the linebacker was just staring us down the whole way and hurries and jumps in front and gets the interception. That being said, I don't know if anything else was open. The running back maybe, but he's being guarded on the side. Maybe that deep route, but I also don't know if that's there. Maybe we had an extra second to read the play. The curl on the left side is covered by 4 people, 4 defenders. So I thought the middle of the field, I mean, that looked like a safest play to me. Maybe should have held on to it half a second longer and would have possibly had a chance. We're going to jump in on defense. We do have them at the 1-yard line. If we can get a tackle for loss here and a safety, maybe we give ourselves a little chance. I'm not even going to be able to get close. Not only that, we're going to give them a 99-yard rushing touchdown as their running back. I don't know if that's Jeremiah Love, if he stuck around, or who that would be. But we're absolutely cooked in this game. Kedron Young. So we get the ball back after a 99-yard rushing touchdown. This game's already over, and let's be 76. Didn't even have his eyes open to try and make a block. But this game's already over, and really it was already over before it started. going to see if Irvin can make another play deep down the field, and he is able to make the catch, but really it's pretty much a participation trophy for us to even be in this game with the team that we have, especially where we weren't able to win our conference. And that's my biggest worry for next year, is we had probably the easiest version of our conference schedule that we can get, and we didn't make it to the conference championship, but could not win. And TCU's a better team than any team. Well, BYU might be close. Camacho makes a great catch there. Kind of threaded it right around that linebacker. And at this point, we're kind of just playing to play. I really don't think, just from what we've seen so far, that we're going to have much of a chance in this game. If any, Reynolds makes a good catch coming across the middle. This will be Colandrea's last game for us, so we'll just try to make it a good, memorable experience for him. There's a drop. All coach wants is RPOs, which are not going to work. We're going to just run a little run play here. Can't even see the play art. Get back to the middle. He's probably our best receiver hurt so far in this game, at least. If I can remember what this play was. And that's going to be a touchdown for Reynolds. He's going to sneak into the end zone. He's had a really, really good season. We'll see about maybe making this a potential game, but it kind of seems like it's a foregone conclusion. We are still in the first quarter, only down 7. We'll see what our defense can do here. Our defense does give up 3 on that last drive. Going to hit Camacho underneath. He is pretty banged up. We're going to get him out of this game. Not that it really matters, as this is our final game of the season, barring a miracle. Reynolds with another nice catch over the middle. And that's really the only way we're having any sort of success, is just making quick passes, making quick reads, and getting the ball out over the middle of the field. Another good catch by Reynolds for a first down. We'll try a run. We'll attempt one here. See if we have any, and nothing. 76 literally just ran in a circle. And I don't know if it's so much of a ability problem with our offensive line. I mean, it definitely is. They aren't good. I feel like more than an ability issue, it is a awareness issue. Knowing where to be and what to do and how to do it. And it's tough. I mean, football's not an easy game, as we get pile driven there, and we may as well go for it. 4th and 12. Tried to get the throw off. Could not do so. Great pass there to Quenty. He will be gone next season. We haven't seen him much, partially because we've known he was going to transfer from week 1. There's an instant shed once again. Our run game is a non-existent. I don't remember exactly where these routes are going, so this might be an iffy play. Floated that way out there. Just trying to throw it underneath. Another interception for Colandrea. We get an interception right back, and that's how this game's going to be. If we can even have a semi-chance, it will be a miracle. Decent block from 79. Bo Jackson has a seam on the outside, and that will be a touchdown from Bo on the screen pass. Notre Dame got a little bit too aggressive coming after our quarterback. We flipped the ball out to our running back, and he got a touchdown up the sideline. We do force a punt from Notre Dame. We are only down 3 at this point. And with maybe a chance to tie or take the lead, get the ball out to Bo again. He's got another lane going up the other sideline this time. And that's just going to kind of be what we need to have happen, is a couple of these passes to go our way, get the ball out quickly, hopefully start to avoid the turnovers. And Camacho is not coming back in, so I am not sure how badly he's injured. But we'll get the ball to Quenty coming across the field. 1st and 10 here, approaching the red zone. We had to bait out that linebacker. He does come and make the tackle. Great catch from Reynolds there. I'm going to try to run up the middle. We passed it quite successfully, a lot of plays in a row. Let's see if that makes any difference, and it will not. 5 rushes for 3 yards is about as horrible of a stat line as you can have as a running back. We'll look to pick up the first down here, and Quenty will make the catch. Work forward inside the 5, fights down to about the 3. Notre Dame does call their first timeout. And we are going to go back to this slip screen to Bo and potentially take a very unexpected lead in this game. And we will do so. He walks in, that's a free touchdown, and we somehow have a 21-17 lead. 3 and out by Notre Dame. We don't want to do anything too crazy here. We are up. We don't want to give that lead away going into halftime. We hit Irvin Jr. coming across the middle of the field. 3 catches for 108 yards for him. We have been able to hit him on 2 deep balls. There are only 16 seconds left, so we're really just trying to avoid any mistakes, and we might just let this tick down and go to halftime. Let's see if we can get the ball to Jackson on the outside here, see if Bo has a huge play in him, which are getting pancaked on the outside is not going to help, but we do have an unlikely lead going to halftime. We'll see if that's sustainable and we can pull off a massive upset win. We do receive the second half kickoff, so we have a chance to extend our lead here. And hit Quenty coming across the middle for just a pickup of 4. And he's playing a large role in this game due to the injury to Camacho. Reynolds is going to make a good catch there and fight forward for a first down. Tried to throw it there. Had absolutely no time. Be 2nd and 21. Try to get at least something back. Reynolds is going to have a nice little lane there, get us back to 3rd and 10, which is frustrating because under normal circumstances that would have been a first down. Reynolds tries to come back to the ball. Pass was a little bit high, but we wanted to keep it out of the reach of the defensive back. Good punt there. We do recover a fumble down here in Notre Dame territory. So maybe our defense has been paying attention and realized, hey, we have been talking a lot about how they have not been able to make the big plays or get turnovers. And now in this game we have both an interception and a fumble recovery. This screen pass is going to be read like a book. And that's really been our main form of offense so far. So if they start reading the screen passes, we may be in trouble. We do have Camacho over the middle. He'll make it 4th and 3. Coach wants us to go for it, so we will. We'll throw it a little bit short. He fought forward, and I think Quenty got us the first down. This is by far the most he's been involved. Camacho is working back into the game, but this is by far Quenty's biggest run of the game for Bo, and he is unfortunately hurt on the play. We'll get Williams into the game, see if Cam can get forward. Gains maybe a yard. Camacho was hurt again on that play, so it will be a lot more of Quenty. Good catch there by Laster. Gets us down to the 3-yard line. Try to get the ball to Cam, going up the middle. It is 2nd and goal. We're going to be swarmed for a loss there, loss of 3 yards. And we just cannot run the ball. Our offensive line is not capable of blocking up this Notre Dame defensive line. We hit Camacho over the middle and he gets hit hard. We will take 3 here. And that's right through the middle to make it 24-17. Another interception by our defense gets us the ball down here again. Minimum here. I am fine with 3. We just throw a little. It goes back to that throw power issue. That ball needs to be zipped over the middle a little bit more rather than just kind of laid up for our receiver to get blown up. Colindre is playing pretty hurt, but Ochoa we don't really want in the game, and we don't can't bring in Dom for this game because that will lose his red shirt. Good screen pass there. We're going to see if it'll let us audible, and we're just going to throw it to Camacho because he's unguarded. Wow. Interception on that play. Ran straight backwards and just caught the ball. Not sure what else to do there. He was 20 feet away from when it happened. And of course, that's a tie game from Notre Dame. Run another screen pass to Cam. Kind of try to follow these blocks. It will be a first down. And at this point, we do want to shorten this game as our best chance. We're going to do a run play here. It is tied, and it will be tied going into the fourth quarter, which is pretty miraculous considering how this game started and how many interceptions that we have thrown. Ideally here, we can drive down the field and get a touchdown, taking a lot of time off the clock. Try to hit Reynolds there. Cannot make the catch. It would have been a tough catch regardless. 3rd and 4. We do have Camacho back into the game, and he will be open. Just going to spin back to get us the first down. 1st and 10 here as we cross midfield. Read that block wrong. Looked like he was going to shed the other direction. 2nd and 8. See if we can get it out there to Reynolds, and we do. Just enough speed to outrun that tight end. Cameron Williams is injured on the play. That will bring in Darian Jones. Camacho is also heavy, high risk for injury. We'll get forward for a gain of 2 yards. I'm going to run one more time here. I'm probably fine taking 3. If we could have avoided that last touchdown that we allowed Notre Dame to score, would have been ideal, but obviously we did not. 3rd and 8. Need to get the ball out fast. We're going to hit Quenty over the middle. He's going to fight forward and get the first down. He's had a really, really nice game. Like we talked about at the beginning, he has not played much at all, but we are giving him a chance in this game due to necessity, really, with the injury to Camacho. I'm going to bring it down to around 4 minutes. Taking half this quarter so far. 2nd and goal here. That block is instantly shed. And we are going to need a big play to get into the end zone. Looking Reynolds to Camacho here. Higdon will be the 3rd read. Reynolds will be wide open. That will be a touchdown, giving us a 7-point lead. We were able to hold on to the ball just long enough for him to clear out. It looked like they were blitzing. We do force Notre Dame to punt. Coach does want us to pass the ball in this situation. I'm not exactly sure why. We'll see if we can get anything open. Another blasted interception. Tried to throw the ball inside shade. Reynolds just couldn't get there. Probably a little bit too risky. That is a tie game now. We have the ball back with 2 minutes left. All we need to do is get into field goal range. We are not going to try and throw the ball deep down the field unless it's a pass to Irvin and he's wide open. Reynolds does get the ball there, working to the outside. Can't hear the adjustments. I guess he did end up getting it. We're just going to take off here with Colin Rea. 2nd and 6, and that will be the 2-minute timeout. My wholehearted intention here is to kick a field goal as time expires. How deep that field goal is yet to be determined. We are going to start chewing clock again. Camacho is hurt again on the play, but he's still somehow in the game. Gonna hit Reynolds there, batted down by the linebacker. We are going to run the exact same play. Reynolds, Camacho, Higdon, that's where we're looking. Irvin on the outside, could be open. We had something, and we're going to take a massive sack. 3rd and 19. Awful decision making there. Just held on to the ball. Andre is hurt, so his movement is not as good as it usually is either. Get the ball to midfield. 1:10 left. We're going to have to punt. We messed that up big time. We had a chance to go win this game. We had to put the ball and our confidence on our defense. Do force a Notre Dame punt, and we have the ball on our own side of the field. So this is a huge chance. We're just going to take the clock down and kick a field goal to somehow by some miraculous miracle, probably win a college football playoff game in year 2 of this rebuild. And the big thing here is we want to keep the ball in the middle of the field. We do have 2 timeouts, so we are going to run this play, let the clock tick down to 3 seconds, and based on that excellent run right there, kick a easy 36-yard field goal to win a college football playoff game against the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, which is not something I expected to be saying at the end of this game. We're letting it go down to 4, 3, 2, timeout. And we most likely have won a college football playoff game in year 2 of this UNLV rebuild. And the kick is up and good. Despite a very up and down, crazy back and forth game, we do pull off the upset. I know we are 9 and they're 8, but they are a way better team than we are. Our defense played really well, finally got some turnovers. We'll take a look at the stats here. So for Colandrea, 58 attempts, 70% completion, did throw 5 interceptions, 4 touchdowns, 485 yards. We were just chucking the ball on the ground. Obviously nothing really to speak of, couldn't get anything going. Cameron Williams had a couple good rushes at the end of the game. Dejon Reynolds has a huge game, 2 touchdowns, 150 yards. Irvin picked up 108 yards. Bo Jackson had 2 touchdowns on screen passes through the air. Quenty really came up big and had 7 catches for 73 yards. So big game for our receivers. Our defense finally stepped up, no sacks, but we had interceptions by Terrell Brewington, our senior safety, and Quentin Taylor, our best corner. We also had a forced fumble by Adelaide, which he is our other leader of the defense, which we were able to recover as well. So we go from getting pretty much no turnovers all season, we had like 3, to 3 in that game, plus us throwing 5 interceptions. But that is what allowed us to win that game and have the huge upset. And we did win a college football playoff game in year 2, which is kind of crazy. Dejon Reynolds is your Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week with 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. He is also your National Offensive Player of the Week, which is awesome, and he had an amazing game. We'll be taking on the number 1 ranked Michigan Wolverines in the Orange Bowl. Also, we're able to sign Zach Lujan to become our offensive coordinator, which should really help the progression of our offensive team in general. Looking back at this game against Notre Dame, a couple interesting keys here. Total yards, you can see 703 to 413. So we outgained them by about 300 yards, and then total offense, 518 to 310, so just over 200 extra yards. And then another big one I noticed here, first downs 28 to 10. So despite being -3 in the turnover category, we really ended up playing a pretty efficient game. Our passing game, 485 yards to 163. We completed 46% of our third down attempts. And one of the craziest stats here is you can see we attempted 58 passes compared to their 28, so 30 extra times. We didn't really rush the ball too much, but still a little bit, we actually rushed more attempts than them as well with way less yards. So we just had the ball more, we're running shorter plays. Time of possession looks like, you can't see that there, but 19 minutes and 57 seconds, so 20 minutes to 12. So that's really was the difference in that game. A huge upset and probably the biggest win in UNLV football history, which does lead us to taking on the University of Michigan, where we will have a tough time making a difference. I thought that would happen against Notre Dame, though. I thought we would have a really difficult time against Notre Dame. We barely outlast them. You can see Miami barely beats Boise State by 5. We beat Notre Dame by 3. Nebraska handled TCU, and they're on the bottom. Ohio State beat Clemson 45 to 31. So all of the higher seeds advance. We will be taking on Michigan and we will see if we can put up any sort of a fight. It's going to have to be a fairly similar game to last. A lot of short, quick passes, and hopefully, with any luck, we might be able to at least put up a fight. I'm not sure how we go from the Big 12 championship game and getting totally destroyed by TCU to still having 5 turnovers and hanging in there and ending up beating Notre Dame. We are here in the Orange Bowl, Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. We do start the game with the ball here. We're going to flip it out to Reynolds. Kind of broke one tackle, gained maybe another half yard. I have a feeling our run game is going to be totally shut down just like last game. We're going to try a couple potentially. And there's a good little move by Bo up the middle, gain of 12. And you never know, we might be able to run the ball a little bit. And there's another great run by Bo, fights off a tackle. Big gain of 22 yards up the middle there. We are moving the ball effectively. This is the first time we've worn the road all whites. I do like the look of them. We're going to hit Reynolds over the middle. He has some space. Big block there by, I think that's Irvin on the outside. Fight forward down to the 1 yard line. And huge first drive for us here. This is where running the ball might be really tricky. We're going to see if Bo can sneak up the middle. Dive kind of right into him, but that's a touchdown. Bo knows touchdowns. We take an early lead here against Michigan. We'll see if our defense can hold up and get us the ball back quickly. We do give up 3 points to Michigan on the following drive. There's a nice little pass to Irvin over the middle. Brings us to 2nd and 1. We're going to potentially hit Irvin on the outside here. He's not going to be there. We will have Laster spinning back to avoid the tackle. Big gain there, and we're just going to try to keep this offensive efficiency going. Playing really well so far, making the right reads. Hit Reynolds, he breaks a tackle, fights forward to get a first down. And really it may be that Michigan has a tackling problem, as we've already broken quite a few early in this game. Bo's going to rush forward for a gain of 4. We're going to get him the ball back here, going right back up the middle. See if we can block this one up a little bit better, which we can't really. Gets a gain of a yard. 3rd and 5 here. We should be in field goal territory. We're going to hit Bo coming out the side. That will be a first down. Try to spin back for a little extra yardage. We're going to run a screen play here, see if they overcommit. Should get a couple blocks. Good little bob up the middle for another first down. And we're really moving the ball pretty effectively. I feel like our offense has done better against Michigan's defense so far, even than we did against Notre Dame, as that block is shed pretty easily by a good defensive tackle. But it's hard to decide at this stage how much we take risks compared to as Bo wiggles up the middle, untouched. Bo knows touchdowns. Good blocking there. Was able to just go right up the hole, right up the seam, throws up the Heisman, and we should have a 14-3 lead. Michigan does go down and get a touchdown of their own. There's a nice route by Reynolds, just kind of found the open spot in the zone there. We do have a 4-point lead here with 6.5 minutes to go in the first half. Saw X coming open on the backside, that's Irvin. Couldn't quite have time to get it there. Right here, ideally, minimum, we get 3 to make it a 7-point lead. There's a good catch by Irvin over the middle to get us a gain of 5. We'll be 3rd and 5 here. We might be in 4th down territory. Tried to take off with Colandrea. Ends up being 4th and 9. We're just going to punt the ball away, see if our defense can hold up. We do give up 3, so now our lead is down to 1. Get the ball to Jackson up the middle, 2-yard gain. And ideally, we can get some points on this drive. Had him open, just didn't quite have the time. We'll be 3rd and 8. Tried to hit Reynolds working underneath. Got it to him a touch too late. Once again, that might just be our throw power issue where the ball just comes out a little bit soft. So we will have to punt here. We are able to force a Michigan punt, so we maintain our 1-point lead. Bo is going to fight forward. Good couple yards after contact there. Is 2nd and 3. There are 2 minutes left. Hopefully go down and get a field goal minimum, if not a touchdown. Bo's going to get us a first down on the ground. And he's having a much better game so far compared to the Notre Dame game. I don't know if their line defensively was just better. There's a good catch by Reynolds, get us 7 yards. Make it 2nd and 3. Tried to get Camacho there, defensive line bats it down. Brings up 3rd and 3. Hopefully we can pick up the first down here. If not, we are going to have to punt. Reynolds holds onto the ball and breaks a tackle. Streaking up the sideline is chased down from behind. Huge first down gain there. And we will go back to the run game for at least this play. Bo fights off a tackle there to get a nice gain of 8. And with a minute left, we absolutely do not want to give Michigan the ball back. So we're going to go on the ground again. Wiggle up the middle. That will be an injury timeout. Bo has found some success down here in the red zone. The last drive there will be nothing. Will be bottled up. We will attempt a screen pass as they do look like they're stacking the box here. They read it pretty well. There's nowhere to go. It's going to be 3rd and 17. Same thing here. Absolute must is to avoid the turnover. Hit Higdon over the middle. Just trying to make sure that wasn't an interception, so we possession caught it. Probably should have tried to get some run after the catch, but that will give us a 22-yard field goal to bring our lead back up to 4. We do give up a Michigan field goal right at the beginning of the 3rd quarter. We find Reynolds there over the middle. He's having a really nice game. Colandrea is having a really nice game as well. We've avoided the turnovers, which is probably what's allowing us to maintain this 1-point lead. Go back to the passing game here. And Reynolds is just going to be open in the middle of the zone there, kind of at about the 10-yard distance. They're just not really guarding that. So we've gone to it 2 or 3 times. Going to take a look at this play. Kind of floated it a little too high. Corner makes a good tackle. 2nd and 9 here. Going to hit Quenty just for a little gain of 2. Thought we could have possibly had some run after the catch there from Quenty, but we were not able to do so. Get the ball just in time to Reynolds off of the blitz. Good throw by our quarterback, Colandrea. That gives us a first down. Get the ball to Bo here. He's a little banged up, but he's running the ball very efficiently. Might need to get him out after that play. We will get Cam Williams into the game after that play. A little bit of a high throw there under pressure. It was open. Both those guys are technically open in that spot, but the pressure got in quick. And Williams makes a great catch. Juke back. 3 or 4 tacklers. Colandrea is injured on the play, which will bring in Ochoa to hand this ball off to Cam Williams. No real cutback lane there. 2nd and goal from the half-yard line. We get the ball to Williams going up the middle again. And that'll be a touchdown up the middle to extend our lead, hopefully to 8 points, barring the extra point. Ochoa is staying in the game. We do force a Michigan punt and hit Reynolds there on a nice little route. Andre is not on our injury report, so that means hopefully he should be coming back into this game relatively soon. Gonna run a little screen pass here. Really, we're just gonna try to get to the 4th quarter as quickly as possible as Cam Williams fights forward to get us a first down. We'll need to run one more play before we can get to the 4th quarter. Snap this ball with about 1 second left. Big block shed there, tackle for no gain. We go into the 4th quarter up 8. And as unusual as this sounds, a big key in this game is against the #1 team in the country. We are blocking our offensive line better than we've blocked in pretty much any game I can remember. And there's an interception. Just had them bearing down on us. We need to make a tackle here. And Ochoa will. Bad throw. Just kind of had to float it up there. We do give up a touchdown to Michigan. They went for 2, and were not able to convert. So we maintain a 2-point lead. There's a good run from Cam Williams, making it 2nd and 1. We're going to go back to the run game here. and look to get Bo Jackson back in after this play. Falls forward for a first down, and we are going to try and take as much of this clock as possible. Our starting quarterback is out of this game, so really we're just trying to manage it and get down to, we might need another score to win. I don't know if we want to put that much pressure on our defense, because all they would need is a field goal. Ochoa works forward for a gain of 2, brings up 3rd and 8. Probably just going to be mostly looking for Reynolds here. Not able to get it off in time, dropped back maybe a little bit too far. We're going to have to punt. We do give up a field goal to Michigan. They now have a 1-point lead. That play almost broken. Couldn't quite get out of there. We are going to have to keep passing the ball. Overthrew him just a touch. We had him wide open. That brings up 3rd and 10. And I'm not sure. We do have all of our timeouts. I'm not sure if we're in absolutely go for it territory. We might have to punt one more time. That ball's put right on Higdon. Ochoa makes a great throw. He makes an awesome catch in traffic. And it's going to be plays like that this is going to take. It might be very similar to the end of the Notre Dame game where we need a field goal to win, and we might be able to do that with no time left. Absolutely don't want to throw any interceptions here. We're going to hit Jackson coming out the side. He is one of our fastest players along with Irvin, and that should put us in field goal range. Reynolds is going to be open, streaking across the field. That'll get us another first down. Michigan will probably start taking timeouts here. Start chewing the clock down again. Run a little screen pass to Bo, which they read pretty well. Get away from that one guy. We have a chance. We can get some of Michigan's timeouts. Bo fights forward to make it 3rd and manageable. 3rd and 8. Need a first down here. See if Jones can't make the catch, so that's going to leave them with the timeout. We are going to have to take the field goal to take the lead back here. And that is up and good. We take a 2-point lead, but we left quite a bit of time on the clock. We're actually going to jump in here for the last minute 14 and just play the rest of the game. They will pass the ball. That was probably our assignment, and we missed it. I'm not nearly as good at defense. Not that I'm that amazing at offense either. But they will be passing the ball. That's going to be open. Brewington leaves them open, so now we are going to be in a bit of trouble. We only have a 2-point lead here. They're easily into field goal range. They will spike it for some reason. We do have all 3 timeouts. Third and inches. Great tackle there up the middle. We're going to call a timeout. 4th and 2. And that will be good. We have 30 seconds to go down and get a field goal of our own. Wasn't the greatest defense. That play deep down the middle of the field really killed us. Our safeties are very slow. Decent return there from Quenty down to about the 23. 27 seconds left, 2 timeouts. We will need at least one big play. And that will not be it. Great catch from Reynolds there. Working over the top. Let's get us down to 17 seconds, and that was our final timeout. Great pass to Reynolds. I think he was able to get out of bounds there. If he wasn't, we may be in trouble. I'm not sure if they're saying we're in field goal range or not. Gonna hurry and get a play off. Throw it away. Why would it do that? That is the dumbest thing I have ever seen. Apparently we did not get out of bounds. We ended up losing by 1. I have to look at the replay there. But that's ridiculous. I do not know why they wouldn't have us kick a field goal. We were only down by 1. That should be a play to win the game or spike the ball. Tried to get the throw off. I should have probably just spiked the ball regardless. That should have been a win there. We played well enough to win. Probably would have had a better chance if we had our actual starting quarterback. Here's the final play. Reynolds works open. Have a hard time convincing me his knee does not go out of bounds there. There's no way to challenge it, nothing we can do. They're going to say we lose the game and the clock did not stop. That's pretty ridiculous. Also, our quarterback threw the ball way too far out of bounds, which I don't know if there's anything else you can do there. Statistically, Michigan scored 12 in the fourth quarter to win by 1. Colandrea had a good game, 20-24, 248 yards. Ochoa came in and was fine. Did throw that 1 interception. Bo had a really good game, 2 touchdowns on the ground, 1 for Cameron Williams. Receiving wise, it was all Dejon Reynolds, 241 yards in his final game of college football, and probably all football. Defensively, TFLs for Isaiah Patterson, Terrell Brewington, Jordan Eubanks, sack for Patterson, no interceptions, no forced fumbles. We did have that big catch allowed by Brewington. That probably was the dagger. Very frustrating. We played pretty well most of the game. Colandrea getting hurt and never coming back in hurt us a lot, along with having that last second play taken away from us. I really thought that his knee was out of bounds. Should go down in history as the biggest. Dejon Reynolds just set the UNLV single season receptions record. We threw him the ball a ton there to pass Gums from last season, but should go down as one of the biggest steals of, in my opinion, college football history there. Maybe a debatable play, but to me, it looked like the knee was down. Dejon Reynolds was the player of the week for the Big 12 with 241 yards and 15 receptions. Was also the National Offensive Player of the Week. Had a really, really good game. Was getting open pretty consistently. We'll take a look here at the bracket. So after narrowly beating us, where they really shouldn't have, Michigan will take on number 4 USC, who beat Miami. And then Nebraska was able to take care of business against Duke, and they will be taking on number 2 Georgia, who beat the brakes off of Ohio State. Georgia takes care of Nebraska in a high-scoring game, winning by 5. Michigan loses to USC. Obviously, we played against Michigan. We know they weren't as good as a number 1 team really should be. So your national championship will be played here in Las Vegas between the Georgia Bulldogs and USC Trojans. Final look here at the season. Kyle Whittingham, rather than going to Michigan like he did in real life, goes to USC and wins the national championship against Georgia, 41-24. Our season stats post the postseason: Colandrea finishes with 27 touchdowns, 25 interceptions. Wiggins didn't play in the end. Ochoa total 6 interceptions and 1 touchdown. Rushing wise, Bo Jackson 1 yard away from 1,500. Huge year for him. It was only a sophomore. We should have him for hopefully 2 more seasons. Williams played really well, added 10 touchdowns on the ground to Bo's 18. Receiving wise, 1,280 yards for Dejon Reynolds and 7 touchdowns, 112 receptions. Awesome season for him. Irvin Jr., we should hopefully have back next year, 8 touchdowns, along with 890 yards. Camacho had a really nice season. Higdon did as well. And Bo Jackson added 5 more touchdowns through the air. Defensively, not a huge stat year for us. 4.5 sacks for Epinesa, 3 for Isaiah Patterson, 3 for Corey Hall. Totaled the season with just a few interceptions, 3 for Powdrill, Quentin Taylor with 2. And like we talked about, really a lot of these stats came in defensively against Notre Dame. That's what kind of gave us that win, along with Colandrea having a really good passing game. Take a look here at our players leaving. Colandrea will graduate and is projected to go in the 4th round of the draft. Our running backs are all sticking around. That means Ochoa's staying as well. Quenty wants to transfer due to playing style, which I believe we have an F. He needs a B-. We probably won't even spend a try to get him back. Dejon Reynolds will graduate. Quincy Bernard, who has normal dev, wants to transfer due to brand exposure. Left guard, Daniel Hernandez, also normal dev, wants to transfer. Austin Boyd graduates. Ed Haynes wants to transfer for pro potential. We're losing 2 of our defensive tackles, Cohen Fuller and Corey Hall. Isaiah Patterson wants to transfer due to brand exposure. We are going to try and persuade him right now, which we fail. That's probably a pretty big loss. We lose Jordan Eubanks, our Mike linebacker. Nigel Eason wants to transfer due to playing time. We do lose Powdrill, our 2nd best receiver, as he graduates. Costanzo graduates as well as Brewington. Casey Bell will graduate, our kicker. We will try to keep maybe these sophomores just for depth. Haynes is going to stick around. Eason does not want to. Bernard will be gone. Patterson, we tried. Quenty will be gone. And I guess we'll try on Hernandez as well, and he will stick around. So we keep 2 guards. Hernandez, I guess, is semi-decent. They're all normal dev, not losing anything too huge. Patterson's the big one that I wish we would have been able to keep him. I didn't even know he was really at risk for transfer, but apparently he was, and we need to refill in that hole. Although our defensive ends, our edge rushers, are one of our deeper position groups. Draft results here. Anthony Colandrea does go in the 4th round to be a backup quarterback somewhere, most likely. Had a pretty decent season, an okay career. We probably should have tried to use those 5 skill points to upgrade him a little bit and maybe boost his draft stock. We will enter the offseason recruiting. We want George Gono. No one else is offering on him right now. Junior Cage, we're just going to leave as kind of a backup option. Ole Miss is in on Terrell Akbar in a big way. They are trying to catch us. Gregory Harris, I don't know if there's really a chance unless for some reason Indiana completely just pulls out of it. We are not going to put any points on him yet. Muhammad, we are in a recruiting battle with Indiana as well. We will stay in this one, although I think our odds are low. Trevor Prince we're going to remove. We have no chance at getting him. Take a look at a couple of these centers. Hopefully we can get Gayton to commit after this week, along with a few of these linebackers. So in a really good spot on George Gono. We're going to drop him down to 40 points. Locked out on this running back we just added. Spot on Akbar. Hopefully we can get him to commit. Ole Miss did pull out of it. Harris, it looks like Indiana dropped out as well, so we're actually going to add points back on him. We could potentially have 2 4-star freshmen wide receivers join the class. Keon Grays, transfer junior. We are going to try to stay in on him and put a full 50. Muhammad, we have 50 on him. I don't know if it's going to matter. Indiana does pass us, and they're probably going to get him. We need to decide if we want to continue to leave the points on him for this last week. Good spot for Levels and Santoso. Should be able to get Gayton committed here pretty quickly. Jamarius Brown, we are into first on. Myron Robinson, a big linebacker. We are moving into first on him. Should hopefully be able to get Gizzy and Casillas and Bunting. Into first on TJ Green. We will get a visit with him for playing style. We're just going to leave the normal 50 on him, and that's all of our hours regardless. Wale we should be able to get, and we're just going to go one more week. We should get a couple commitments and probably lose out on Terrence Muhammad, our right tackle. We've been recruiting the entire season. It is hard to get 5 stars though. It shouldn't be easy. Jalil Gayton does commit, 3-star defensive tackle. We get Nelson Quale, a strong safety. We get Terrell Akbar, that's a big one, 4-star wide receiver, which should give us a few more points to work with. We're in a good spot for Gono, should get him committed pretty quickly. Might want to add another running back. Gregory Harris we should be able to grab. Grays is going to be close. Unfortunately, our playing style with him is an F. But we're going to try because we have an A+ in playing time. So our only option with him is to guess this hard sell correctly between campus personality or the clutch. And we're just going to guess campus personality. Keep 50 on him, schedule him a visit for playing time, and see if we can get a chance. Gregory Harris we should get unless Indiana just randomly jumps back in. We do lose Terrence Muhammad to Indiana. In a decent spot for Jamarius Brown. We did drop a little bit, but we can get him on campus, and D-tackle we do need. Get him on campus, championship contender. Byron Robinson will be team player, which is actually pretty good for us. And we will get him on a playing style visit as well. See if we can fend off BYU. We'll be able to bring all 3 of these middle linebackers. Drop off these guys. Walked out on DJ Pickett. We didn't have any points on him. We do take a marginal lead on TJ Green. There's 3 different cells it could be, which Arizona State has a great pipeline on him, so I'm not sure. With the visit, we barely outlasted them. So we're going to try and double soft sell with our 2 best cells, and hopefully we can outlast Arizona State for TJ Green. Messiah Delhomme we will get on a visit as well with playing style, and we will attempt a hard sell with him because that's really our only chance. We will take a look back in the portal, and a couple of these guys we're just going to offer scholarships on. The edges are where we're really going to look. Here's Isaiah Patterson. We already know about him. He has us as his #1 team, so that's a little bit random. We're just going to offer scholarships to all of these guys and then kind of just see who sticks around going into the next week, where we're already in first place on all of them. We do get the commitment of Fitu Gizzy from Katy, Texas, 3-star Mike linebacker freshman. And that's it from there. I did see that we lost out on Messiah Delhomme, which is unfortunate. George Gono were in a great spot. Grays were in first, but his playing time dropped to F for some reason. So don't really know what's going on there. And we're actually just going to take all the points off of him. And I guess if we get him, we get him, and if we don't, we don't. Gregory Harris will be in the class after this week. Indiana just decided they no longer want him. Terrence Levels and Santoso we should get as well. We may use some points to scout these defensive ends here because we just don't know. There's a couple of options. We're just going to keep sending the house on him. Hopefully outlast Auburn. Byron Robinson we should be able to bring in. These guys we might need to scout up a little bit as well. Although linebacker is such a big need, we might just try to bring both in regardless. We are passed up on TJ Green. Unfortunately, both of our cells were wrong. And that's going to make it so we probably have no chance to get him. We'll see. We'll stay in it. We will add points here on Igbianogi and Nolan Anderson. We are out on Messiah Delhomme. See if there's any visits that will do anything. We will use some of our points here to scout some of these defensive linemen just because we do not know. We're going to get rid of Brooks as a sophomore. We have been dumb because I'm not sure how many weeks are even left. And then we are going to make an offer here to Deshaun Ford. Hopefully we have one more week after this. We don't. So kind of messed that up. We might end up bringing a ton of defensive ends. Maybe one of them can be a running back or something randomly. We do get the commit of Gregory Harris, big 4-star receiver, along with Myron Robinson, huge transfer linebacker that should help out a ton. Jamie Casillas, another linebacker from the freshman class. Viliami Bunting as well, a Mike linebacker. 4-star receiver Keon Grays, who might just be depth. Glenn Sampe, another linebacker for us. A lot of linebackers. Tyler Lockhart, another linebacker. Isaiah Patterson is back on the edge, along with Wilnerson Telemaki. George Gono comes in from the freshman class as a quarterback. We also get to various levels the center, along with Joe Santoso. They're both athletes. They might end up playing somewhere else. Nolan Anderson, free safety, we're able to bring in. And Michael Igbigunoni, it's a hard name for me to say. He's a corner. 3-star transfer. Jace Gilbert, 3-star edge. 3-star edge, Chad Woodfork. We're going to be very deep off the edge. Rudy Johnson, another edge. And unfortunately, there are a couple players I saw we missed out on that I was counting on. George Gono has normal development. We miss out on Deshaun Ford, who would have been nice to add some depth to our running back room. He had impact. Star for Akbar, that's huge. He should play quite a bit, 6'5", 203. Depending on his speed, he might even end up being our starting tight end. Gregory Harris also has star, so we might do that, move Akbar to tight end and Harris as our receiver. And star for Keon Graves, who is a junior. We'll see how good he is. Impact for Terrence Muhammad, so not too upsetting that we missed out on him. Impact for Folkerts, impact for Paris, elite for Cantrell. I think we already knew about those three. Impact for Hollis and elite for Wayne. Normal for Levels and normal for Santoso. So those two didn't quite end up where we wanted them to be. Off the edge, we did not get Jordan Mack, who had normal dev, no big deal. Normal for Telemaki, impact for Patterson, we already pretty much knew. Impact for Woodfork, normal for Gilbert, and impact for Rudy Johnson, so nothing crazy. We weren't able to bring in Jamarius Brown, who I wanted. He only had impact dev. Gayton has normal, unfortunately. Star for Myron Robinson, transfer sophomore, should be able to make a good impact for us early on. Impact for Tyler Lockhart, and impact for Glenn Sampe. Impact for Bunting, impact for Casillas, impact for Gizzy. So that's a lot of impact dev that we're getting. Star for Juan Garrett, we knew about. Normal for Ball, impact for Nazialek. TJ Green had impact, which he looked really good. 4-star transfer freshman. We weren't able to get impact for Igbinogi. Nolan Anderson had normal, and Quali has normal. So quite a bit of impact dev. We're going to do some position changes and see if there's anything major that we'll update you on. Keon Grays is an 83 overall, so I'm not sure why it acted like he would not play. He definitely will play for us, along with Irvin. We will move Terrell Akbar to tight end, where he maintains his abilities. He might even be our starting tight end. I didn't check his speed. But now between Grays, Irvin, Camacho, Higdon, Harris, we should have a really good lineup of receivers. We will look to move Caden McGee, redshirt sophomore. He just profiles better as a 5th string running back for us. Gives us a little bit more depth. Darian Jones isn't rated very highly, but he played quite well. And Akbar is our highest rated tight end currently. Laster and Swinney will work in. Beasley, nothing crazy. And Akbar will look to be a 4-year starter, hopefully, for us. He does have 86 speed and 81 catching, so he's already leading the tight end room in both of those categories. We'll be doing some upgrades here. First off will be our new starting quarterback, Dom Wiggins, star development, who has 80 points. We'll start just with his accuracy, get that maxed out here, which makes him pretty good. We're also going to upgrade 2 bars of health down here, and we're going to get Dot up to platinum. And with these last 10 points, put them on elusiveness, which brings him up to an 86 overall. We're going to go ahead and just set him as a captain right now, as he will be our starting quarterback. Bo Jackson has 32 points to use, which we'll probably use most of them in elusiveness. Don't know if we're going to be able to get him higher shifty, because that would require more speed, so he's going to be maxed there. We will get his elusiveness up and then check on some abilities. Get sidestep up to platinum, so he's looking pretty good at a 93 overall. Cameron Williams has 41 points as well. We're going to upgrade his power, maybe use him a little bit more as a power back, and Moon as our receiving back. Does have 60 points here. That's the big benefit you get from star development. And once, like we talked about before, we're going to put most, if not all of these points right into quickness to get his speed up. And the last 4, we might just save them to start working on elusiveness after that. That does give him up to 93 speed, 96 acceleration. So he is now our fastest running back. Keon Gray's here. Transfer from Cal. Looks like last year he only played in 3 games. He must have been hurt most of the time. He does have 51 skill points for us to use. I'm tempted just to make him faster. His catching's okay. His route running's okay. We're going to make him faster. And he's really going to turn into our super speed guy. And I'm going to put the rest of these onto catching most likely. Upgrade his route running as well. So he should be a pretty good option for us as that kind of deep ball guy with 95 speed, 97 acceleration. That means I don't know what D'Angelo Irvin's role will be. He might turn into just kind of our 4th receiver. I want to keep Camacho in the slot. He might be our backup slot guy. Camacho here does have 64 points for upgrades. Same thing for him. These are almost all going to go into quickness. Just need him to be faster. He will get up to 93 speed, which is great. And then we'll put some into route running here. These last 2 we'll just throw on IQ. Gets him up to an 85 overall. Higdon is going to probably be kind of the odd man out. Just doesn't really have a spot with some of the freshmen we brought in. So a normal development, I mean, is really just going to hold him back pretty heavily. Rashawn Jackson is our kick and punt returner, so we're going to look to upgrade mostly things that affect that. More elusive, and then throw a little bit here down into IQ. Stephen Gore is a star left tackle we got. He may play for us. Probably should. We're going to upgrade his pass blocking here. We may have one of our freshmen, at least our elite dev tackle, start maybe on the right side if we can get Steven up to good enough to be our left tackle. Only 22 points here for Nabugwo. Just going to upgrade his run blocking as our new, we moved him from left tackle to left guard. So that will be his main job here. We'll be really trying to open up the run game on that left side. He should be pretty decent, big upgrade from what we've had. And it should be a little bit easier for him as a left guard than trying to be our left tackle. Ace Robinson was our starting right tackle last season. We moved him in to be a center. He will probably start for us, just kind of depends on how our other offensive linemen work and if we want to move them around from where we have them currently. It's not anything crazy. Center will be a position of need for sure. Yosei Epinesa, star dev, redshirt sophomore, has 50 points. He already has 93 power moves. I'm gonna upgrade into his power a little bit. I usually like our edge rushers to be more of a speed rush type because it's a little bit easier to upgrade them. We're going to upgrade his power moves one more to get him platinum pocket disruptor. And then with 9 points left, I'm just going to max out his power moves. And hopefully he can make a big impact for us. And the reason I like more of a speed rush type is because, one, I feel like they get better abilities, but also power moves are great, but when you upgrade finesse moves and quickness, it makes them just better players overall. Which So that does move him above Epinesa, but Epinesa will start. And Isaiah Patterson is all the way down here at a 74 overall. Last year, he did get 3 sacks and played in almost every game. I don't know if he's going to be able to do that this year. We'll see how much we're able to upgrade him with these 40 points. He might end up just being kind of a development piece because of the gain addition of Woodfork and Epinesa having a big offseason. Coates with 82 points, Elite Dev, redshirt freshman. I'm not sure how he's a redshirt freshman because he should have played in enough games not to be last year, but that's odd for sure. Put a lot into quickness and then get his finesse moves up, and that's probably going to be our main focus for this off-season, and the next off-season we'll look to really develop a little bit more into the finesse moves, maybe the power, and get some of these abilities going. So he did somehow only play, we had him as our starter. He only played in 4 games last year. I do not think he was injured, but that does get him a red shirt. Rudy Johnson, who I believe is a transfer from Arkansas, only has impact development. He's going to be a backup guy. Coates is going to be our main player here. I'd like to get just his run stopping up. Our senior defensive tackle, Adelaide, here has 44 points. We are going to put, he already has a 99 power moves. Get his power up. We will get him to platinum pocket disruptor and silver workhorse. And he should be a pretty good player for us. He's a 1-star senior. Glenn Sampe will probably be our starting will linebacker. Get his run stopping up, and then maybe a little bit of IQ here. It's him up to an 82 overall. Better than what we've had in the linebacker room. Gabriel Strong is also impact dev, and he is just a sophomore. The skill caps are not great though. He can't get any faster. We'll make him a better run stopper as our primary focus here, and puts the rest of the points into IQ, which he's actually going to be an 83 overall. So we'll see between Strong and Sampe, both are impact dev sophomores, who we want to be our starting Sam linebacker. Myron Robinson should be a really good addition as a linebacker for us to help out our defense. Does not have a ton of points to work with. Get him up to silver knockout. He is a star dev junior, so we can hopefully keep him around for this season and next. And then for our starting will linebacker, it's going to be a pretty tight competition between these 3. Lockhart might just stick it out. He is a junior. I'm a little bit faster now than he really needs it. The rest here into IQ. And I would guess he'll be our starting will linebacker unless Metropolis has some major upgrades available, which it might be close here as well. Our linebackers are all, a lot of them are all in kind of the same spot. Cole Abel here is going to kind of be the odd man out. Although I do like him, he is probably going to transfer where he doesn't really have a path to playing time. Then Quentin Taylor Jr. here is going to get some good upgrades as well. He'll be up to an 86 overall. Bring in Michael Igbioni from Coastal Carolina. Almost all his points are going to go. It looks like he's fairly athletic. I'm just going to put almost all of his points here into coverages. And he is just a redshirt sophomore, so we should have him for a couple more years. Our kicker here, Carter Jula, up to 93 kick power, 91 accuracy. We also added gold deep range. Our punter, we get up to 98 kick power. Our roster size, we still have, this season we had 15 extra players, so we're 75 out of 85. We still don't need to encourage any transfers. That will bring us to the end of season 2 in this episode. To start off next season, we are the number 16 ranked team in the country. We'll be playing Arkansas State. A quick sneak peek at the recruiting board here. We still only have 500 hours. We did go up to a 2.5-star school, so slow and steady, getting a little bit better. We're going after a bunch of 5 stars, at least right now, until it seems like it's impossible. But there's a gem linebacker here, along with a 5-star gem, 2 5-star gem tackles. We're putting points on another gem linebacker, a wide receiver, a center 4-star, a couple of cornerbacks, and then another gem or a well-rounded 4-star guard, and a defensive tackle. And here's the other gem, lineman. So still pretty heavy focus on the offensive line, a D tackle, a couple corners. We're putting some points on a receiver that we may or may not get. And then we'll look to fill in afterward. This is just kind of the initial go. And then we also are putting a big emphasis on the linebackers, as that is a big position of need. Hit that like button and subscribe for the future of UNLV Rebuild, and we will see you for Season 3.